Hey guys, Adam here. Today we're going to be going over our ignition coil conversion kit to convert your Fiesta ST ignition coil pack to a Focus ST style. So this Focus ST coil has double the amount of windings that this Fiesta coil does. So that means your plugs are going to last longer, you're going to get a better spark energy from it, and then it might just idle a little smoother as well. So with this kit you're going to get a coil tray made out of nylon 6, PA6 glass fiber. So you can opt to use this tray, or you can use a stock tray and then cut out the square profile in the stock tray to match the bottom of the Focus ST coil shown here. You're also going to get stainless steel hardware for the top of those coil plates right here, and you're going to get the hold down hardware for the tray to the valve cover. So first thing we're going to be doing here is assembling our tray to the valve cover. So this just simply is bolt-on, replaces the stock tray. You can see how it lines up here. Kind of only fits one way. Line up all 5 holes here. We're going to drop in our hardware one by one. And with everything, I do recommend this Loctite thread locker. So this is the medium strength just because I like taking things apart, but high strength, high temp is also recommended. The other 2 holes here are for your wire harness, just to clip in there to keep everything clean. The brass inserts here are not able to pull all the way through, so unlike the stock, these are to a shoulder. So you can see on the back side they're pressed to a shoulder, so these can't pull through. Next up, you notice that this will not fit down in here in stock configuration because we have this little tab on here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that tab off just along this line with a cutoff wheel real quick so we can drop it down inside. Okay, so we got that tab cut off. Ground almost flush with the outside of this coil pack. Now the next thing you're going to notice is that this boot is quite a bit shorter than the Fiesta ST boot. So we're going to have to swap this boot, take that off, and then swap the Fiesta ST boot. When I say boot, I mean everything that goes from the coil base down over to the Focus ST coil. So this is one of the things that I get questioned on the most, and yes, you do have to swap this boot over to here. Simple. You simply take this and pull it off. It helps to twist and pull at the same time. We're going to pull that off. You can see there's a contact right here inside the Focus ST coil, and we're going to put the fuse from the Fiesta coil inside that contact. So same thing for the Fiesta coil, just grab the top with your left hand and then wiggle it a little bit, twist it off. Now when I twisted that off, this little fuse came out. This fuse, you can either keep all 4 of these, which I prefer to do, or get rid of them. So I'm going to choose to keep them. We don't need this junk coil pack anymore, so we're just going to throw that in the trash. And then order operations here, this fuse will go on the contactor, and then we're going to take this coil and reassemble it down on here. So you also see inside there's a spring. This spring is the same on either side, but to help us remain in contact with the plug, which is down here on this end, and the coil pack over here, we're going to stretch this spring just about 1/4 inch. So you can stretch it in the middle, you can stretch it on either side, but just stretch that spring a little bit. I like to stretch each end slightly, so I'm going to stretch that. Stretch this so it's longer overall, so we remain good contact at all times. We're going to assemble that spring back into the boot before we put it on here. So drop it down in there, and all you'll see inside of this guy the spring, and that's what's going to come in contact with your spark plug. So once you got that done, we're going to turn it back over, line up the spring with the fuse onto here, twist and shove, and I actually don't go on all the way because I want a little extra length on here to maintain good contact so I don't have to cinch down that coil pack extra hard on my tray. So I'm going to leave about a 1/4 inch showing compared to how the Focus coil boot was. Once you have this all assembled, it's time to install it onto our coil tray. So we have our coil tray here. We're going to put our coil pack down the hole like so, with the pack facing out towards the passenger side. And then we're going to grab one of our pretty anodized plates, our hold downs here, and our stainless hardware. We're going to apply Loctite to the bolt first and then thread it down. So I've got my dart with Loctite on there. I'm going to use a 5mm Allen key to assemble. You can see the coil is facing towards the passenger side of the engine. We got both on there evenly. On the coil hold downs themselves, it's important that the countersunk side faces upwards, so it'll face just like this, so that the head of the bolt can sit down in there. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. I know I get a bunch of questions about this, and as long as you swap your boots over from the Fiesta coil to the Focus coil, you use Loctite on the threads, and you make sure you tighten evenly so you don't crack the tray, you'll have an easy install. You'll have better plug life on your spark plugs, especially if you're tuned and on E85. A lot of people say their idle is a little bit quieter, a little smoother. That's another benefit as well, and the car is going to be happier. So a few other questions I get are, do you need a tune? And the answer is no, you don't need a tune, but it is very useful to have your tuner adjust those dwell times because there are double the windings in these coil packs, and you're definitely going to want to have your tuner adjust it to get the most life out of your plugs and your packs. Another question I get is, can you run this tray with the stock Fiesta coil? And the answer is yes. So these are actually meant to bolt right up inside of here, like so. So there's the same mounting pattern on my coil hold downs as there is the stock Fiesta coil. So if you stripped out your threads on your stock tray, if you just want a different tray, I can do these in different colors as well. So that's another option for a lot of guys out there. This is a cheaper alternative to buying a brand new Ford stock tray. And lastly, the last question is what coil pack to buy. I recommend the Bosch OEM ones, OEM replacement for the 2016 Focus ST. A lot of guys try to cheap out, get used ones, get NGKs. Those just aren't the same, and you're just gonna have more troubles down the road. So just buy once, cry once on this, and you'll have a good time. Lastly, I just want to thank Wesley at EMS for helping me put this kit together for everybody. I know he originally started making these kits, and it was a huge help with getting everything organized as far as manufacturing these kits at a cheaper price and make it affordable upgrade for people looking to upgrade their ignition side if they're on big horsepower builds, or even if they want to run an E30 tune on their stock turbo. These are beneficial. So shout out Wesley, one of the best tuners in the game, and hope you enjoyed.